Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we simply don't know what we're looking for 1 minute at a time in the film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm Tom Taylor.
And I'm going to say that the filmmakers also did not know what they were looking for when they looked south of the United States border. Pete Mummer.
Burn. I'm Harold Christopher Oxley Porter.
And we are joined once again by our old pal, Steve Kreuch. Welcome back, Steve.
I am feeling welcomed, but I don't know that I should want to be back in this movie. Well, I never liked the scene.
True friendship
we can talk.
You keep coming back.
Yeah. The scene always disturbed me, but we can get there.
We'll get there. We're talking, of course, about minute 45 of Temple of Doom, which begins with Indy saying that it looks like Harold Oxley found Oriana's grave, and it ends with a troll or something under a bridge or something like that. And yeah, we get Indy. He's like, hey, it looks like Harold Oxley did. He found the grave. And it transitions to this, it goes from the tile, the etching on the floor to the actual place that I guess they found. And it strikes me when we get to this scene that I think this is like the dividing line. This is for me. This is I've liked a lot of this movie up until now. And when I think about the movie as a whole, and I'm like, oh, there's parts of that movie I like a lot. I think almost all of them are before this part. And I can think of maybe one or two things in the rest of the movie where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll look forward to that. And maybe I'll find some new ones as we go. But I'm not looking forward to anything anymore.
This is where it jumps the arc.
Yeah. Yes, it jumps the arc.
Well, this is where it goes. It goes from weeping to blubbering.
Yeah, I'm gonna start blubbering pretty soon.
But it goes out with a bang because this transition is beautiful. It feels, I think, more like Star Wars than anything else I've seen in an Indiana Jones.
Oh, interesting.
Movie. Like the music and the transition from him saying that to the.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
So, you mean the shot from the tiles or whatever engravings on the floor
and then you listen to the music,
actual cemetery,
and it sounds exactly like something you hear in Star Wars, and the transition feels.
See,
really...
I feel like we transitioned directly into a horror movie. And it doesn't fit,
kind of, or a D&D playset or something.
Yeah, or like a scene from Lord of the Rings or something. It's not an indie setting to me at all.
No, it's also not a Peru setting. The thing that makes the Nazca lines famous
surprise
is that there's never wind and there's never rain. And so the first thing we do when we get to the Nazca lines is see a bunch of wind and lightning and thunder.
They should actually put in them being erased in the background by the wind and rain. It's fading away.
You see like leaves blowing around. It's like,
it's desert.
Well, I mean, this cemetery is like the spookiest house on the cul-de-sac at Halloween.
Yeah.
Don't go over to old lady McGillicuddy's yard. She's a witch.
She hands out Pal gum.
She hands out toothbrushes.
Yeah. Oh my God, Pete! You just made me so angry because you're right. The Nazca lines. It's like one of the It's like the Atacama Desert. Yeah. It's one of,
and there's no wind. Like it's almost never any wind at all.
Wow.
I mean, if there had been wind, the Nazca lines wouldn't be here today.
Right.
So how far are they from the sanitarium?
And how did they find it? That map was of the grave.
Yeah.
This place itself, not how to get there.
Yeah, it didn't say, that's what
it's a picture of the place, not a map.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that they drove the mystery machine to get there.
Why is he camouflaging and hiding the mystery machine?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And how is that bike driving off-road? I mean, unless his grave just happened to be like right off of exit 13.
Yeah, maybe there's a really nice road that goes here.
This way to Oriana's cradle.
Yeah. Oh, you missed it. You passed the sign.
Oh man, I should have. Yeah, should have gone to the Bob Evans down the street.
I should say that right after they landed, I said, "Oh, this is the last time we're going to see the bike." but the bike's right here, so don't anybody yell at me. I'm sure you already yelled at me.
But so like right after he camouflages a bike, like I was mad last week, but this like just sent me into apoplectic territory. This just absolutely enraged me. I'm not sure why, but if you look at, there's like a stone altar after he camouflages the bike. And Gerry, I know you've read a lot about the Aztecs, and this is absolutely an Aztec skull rack.
Yeah,
I mean that's like, again, a Central Mexican, ancient Mexican artifact. This is again just absolutely lazy, casual racism. And it sucks. I mean the Aztecs, like when Cortez first saw Tenochtitlan, he said it was more beautiful than Venice. It was a spectacular city built on canals, and they had aqueducts, and they had a zoo, and they had museums, and they like the emperor had a meditation room carved out of black stone, like this sleek black meditation room. It was an amazing city. And this whole movie just like spits on all that and says, we're just, we'll just use a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and they're all south of the border.
Yeah, let's put up some gray, pile up some gray stones. It's cool.
Yeah. But that, and this is going to make, I think, a lot of people mad, but this is what bothers me about the whole ancient alien thing. Is I get that it's fun, like, it's fun thinking, what if aliens came, or speculating. But what a lot of it comes down to is, well, those non-Europeans could never have built this stuff without alien technology.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's sort of what this movie's doing. I guess it's fitting that they're using ancient aliens kind of to do it, because it's really like they're stealing not only, certain people's cultural legacy, but they're robbing our entire shared human legacy.
Yeah. That's true.
And they're doing it in the most lazy way possible. Like they're just grabbing anything that looks like it might be.
We had this laying around the prop house.
Yeah.
This looks spooky.
It's just
looks like a haunted house.
This looks vaguely like it's from South America.
Yeah.
I mean, could there be? I'm trying to. I don't think this works at all. But is there any way? Like you're saying that Oriana like traveled all around this place and was he in Central Mexico at some point? No.
No. Never mind. He started in Peru, and then he was in Ecuador, and he sailed down the. He was the first known person to sail all the way down the Amazon. But yeah, that's a long way from
Pete,
I tried movie. I tried
that is a great point. That is a great point, because I guess a question that I'd have for the franchise, I'm not sure I know the answer here, but does Indiana Jones is an archaeologist, so he's studying other cultures and artifacts, and that's artifacts from other cultures, and there's all a religious component and ancient cities and all this stuff. So you would think that Indiana Jones, or what moves him, is he's celebrating these ancient cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, if we think of the franchise, does it do that?
Well, he never celebrates them. He steals from them.
That's right.
That's true.
I mean,
that's right. But I mean,
he destroys amazing archaeological settings to try to take one thing with everything else just blowing up around him. He doesn't care about it. I mean, look what he did with the Crusader, that he found under Venice.
Yeah, he just
just doesn't care about the body.
But I was hoping we'd see some growth, because the kid in the library, he says, no, don't read Michelson. Let's look at this sort of Marxist school of archaeology where we try to, we build on figuring out what the culture was behind the artifacts. We're not just collecting and cataloging artifacts.
Yeah.
And it says, well, maybe Indy was making some progress. Maybe he's actually concerned, he's interested in learning about the culture behind the artifacts.
He's not in this, because even there's the sign that says grave robbers will be shot, and I can't remember what he says, but then he's just like,
good thing we're not grave robbers.
Yeah.
Good thing we're not but it's actually kind of funny. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Because it's so like, he's never come out and like defended himself against the idea that he's a grave robber, but it's fun to hear him actually say, with a smirk, good thing we're not grave robbers.
Yeah.
Well, so
I'm here to rob
question,
a grave.
Is he being ironic?
Yeah, I think
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Mutt mistranslates the sign a little bit.
Oh, really?
It says grave robbers will be killed, or we will kill the grave robbers.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't necessarily say they'll be shot.
He went to the school for children who read good.
But it does show that his Spanish is good enough that I'm not sure why Indy was translating for him.
Yeah.
That's true. I want to know who erected that sign.
Or the cemetery.
Yeah, I mean, his body's all over the place.
Well, clearly the Aztecs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm coming back to this. So we know Indiana Jones is a grave robber, and we know that these entire things are serials. They're based off the old-timey serials. Mm-hmm. But can we think of any of the movies that actually celebrate the cultures that they go in and wreck? I'm dead serious. Like when they go, because it does have this. Yeah, it does have this. I mean, you're kind of like, oh wow, they're in, Cairo.
He wants to celebrate the Well of the Souls, but then he gets locked in and he has to destroy it. I think he was trying to be careful.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say the only time he's shown like sincere, I don't know, not even emotion, just like sincere respect for a culture. Might be like in Temple of Doom when they're feeding them, and he's recognizing how starving they are and everything, and he's trying to connect with them in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for him, it's anything goes.
Yeah. Well, so wait a minute. What about he's out, from a culturally a Western or American perspective? You're like, okay, so they go. In Last Crusade, they're in Europe and they're in Venice, and like that's the quote exotic city, Venice. And you're like, so do they? I guess they still totally don't care about that either. And he burns.
Yeah.
Or do they celebrate the Western culture in Venice when it comes to Last Crusade? They kind of like romanticize the whole Knights Templar thing.
I feel like the most respect we get, other than what Steve mentioned, in the village, in My Poor Village, is the when we hear the music when they open the Bible in Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh wow, good point.
But that's Marcus respecting it. I don't know if it's Indy.
Yeah.
I mean, he respects the power of the Ark.
Uh-huh.
He respects it for what it is, and
he has like historical awe for a lot of things.
Yeah.
The Cross of Coronado. I mean, you can tell he doesn't care because half, is in Raiders itself. He was just like, these are good pieces, Marcus. Not they are.
Right. This doesn't illuminate
pieces. They're
the civilization.
They're painting. They're
this doesn't tell us who these people were. Yeah.
Right.
I
didn't dust them off, Marcus. And I didn't, I didn't print up labels for them.
But he never cares at all about the context that he finds an object in. He never cares at all about trying to build a record of a history of a people. He just wants what they made that's pretty and will sell.
Yeah.
Well, hey, wait. Do you guys hear that? No, of course you don't, because it's a lazy bell. I'm with you, Pete.
Thank you.
100%.
Well, even in this scene, he doesn't care about the fact that he's in the land of Billy Goat Gruff. In here.
Right. It's an incredible archaeological find.
Yeah, he just skips right over it.
Kids have theorized about this place for millennia.
Fables have been written about Billy Goat Gruff, and here he is.
They found the littlest Gruff.
Yeah. Sounds like a This Just In coming up.
Yeah, really.
I've got one for you here, though, Jer. Right after Indy says, "Good thing we're not grave robbers," there's thunder and lightning. And I'm wondering, because I think the only way they find the cemetery is with an assist from Yahweh. And I wonder if this is Yahweh saying, "Look, dude, I just did something nice for you, and now you're breaking my lying commandment."
Right.
That's good. That's good.
Well, this whole situation, like we're complaining that it's like thundering and lightning and wind and rain and everything, and that it's spooky and everything. Mm-hmm. Mutt says to Indy, "What are we looking for?" And Indy's response is, "I don't know. Maybe it'll be off in one of these antechambers, off one of these bar. Like, why are they here in the pitch dark when they're not even, they don't even know what they're looking for? Like, what's their plan right here?"
Well, I know what this is. I know what this whole thing's about. He says, what are we looking for? I don't know. And I said, okay, well, so that's clearly the characters breaking the fourth wall.
If you want to take a break and go to the snack bar.
Yeah, you needed a Norman Bell mug right there.
I hear craft services is making breakfast burritos.
Yeah, exactly. And while you're eating the popcorn, we'll see if we can finish writing this scene.
Yeah.
Come up with
if you'd
something
like to see
coherent.
Indy hit him up with a shovel, press 1. I'd like to see him jump into that hole.
No, it's like they're talking directly to us. What are we looking for? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be funny, and that's one of my problems with this movie is that there's a lot of it plays to funny moments as if they are funny, but they fall flat. They're like done purely for comedic effect.
That's supposed to be funny, that line?
I think some, like, just like even the grave
I don't
robber
feel
thing.
that.
The grave robber thing, yes. I think the
That's
grave
right.
I
robber
don't think it's
line
funny,
is a joke,
but
yeah.
I think it's played to be funny. Like Raiders had funny moments, but they're like played straight, so they landed as authentic. And all through this movie, their lines repeated, and they just don't land because they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's a crap writing. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, Steve.
Well, Pete.
Yeah.
I know that you're probably the only one of us with a color TV. I want to. I want you to check something out for me here. Can you please go to second? Let's see, right around second 42, and watch to like second 46, 47.
Okay.
Okay. In the background, on the left-hand side of the screen, is a giant bird.
Yes.
Practicing his like doom stance. Like, his best Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Now, watch Indy pass in front of the bird.
Mm-hmm.
Now look. Where did the bird go? Where's the bird? Where did the bird go? That's like awesome. A tote scarecrow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe he turned into the guy under the bridge.
Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
That's awesome.
That is really, really weird. The bird is there in second 43. Indy walks in front of it, and then magically the bird is gone.
You know what? It's an omen, and it turns into the Billy Goat Gruff.
Yeah.
That totally weirded me out. Like, is the bird CGI?
Yeah, I'm sure the bird's CGI. And they didn't finish a lot of the effects.
Jeez, you're kidding.
You only get 10 seconds of bird. Another 12 seconds, that's going to cost you extra.
Yeah, he doesn't even you don't even see a shadow or anything after Indy walks past. They just
There's
forgot about it.
There's a full bird.
No, it's
in
there.
Second 42.
Yeah, it's like there. I paused it on 51. It's there on the right, just to the right of the sun.
It's still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's not moving.
You're going to break Jerry's heart.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's there.
Do you have a color TV too?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he is there. Maybe he's just sitting there in the shadow.
Yeah, he's half in the shadow.
I don't see him. Really?
Pause it on 51.
Yeah, I think he is still there.
He's still there.
He's sitting on the very far right edge of that.
When he's flapping, he's kind of covering it a little bit to the left, and then by the time Indy passes, he settles down. He's in the far right and deep in shadow.
He's just underneath the sun thing, like underneath.
Yeah, all
the right.
right. Fine.
But does Shia mean to trip on this?
Oh, that's
bridge?
funny. He's the stormtrooper.
Oh.
Well, you know what tripped me up is I've been waiting since Raiders to see a barrow. Because, Indy's talking about Turkdene barrow.
Yeah.
What technically is a barrow?
It's a burial mound.
Okay.
And it can be rock it can be stone or it can be earth. It's usually earth, especially like the Turkdene barrow that Indy's talking about. But I don't see anything that looks like a barrow here, unless these are barrows that got like these holes in the ground or like dug up barrows.
Well, yeah. When I looked up the definition, it said a mound of earth and stones raised over a grave.
Right.
And it's also a castrated boar.
Well, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a barrow. But
isn't that Indy?
Well, he did have his misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Which you saved just by talking.
I still don't know why you pluralize that. But...
His misunderstandings. Well, I assume there's more than one.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get the barrow. Yeah, if that's what a barrow is, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's this place is so. Even when they do the transition from the floor to the actual place, I'm like, wait, what's the scale of this? What am I looking at? Am I looking at like a tabletop D&D thing or like a big massive sprawling thing? And now that they're standing in it, I'm like, I don't know where I am or what I'm looking at.
And
it's
it
like
seems
too
to
dark.
grow larger.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah, or they got smaller.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm with Steve. This is very un-Indiana Jones like.
I want this to be Indiana Jones. I
don't mind this. Like, yeah, I'd like the haunted.
Yeah, I want
house
something Indiana Jones cool to happen here. But
yeah, I do too.
It's just.
I kind of like.
But
this,
like even the last scene, the last shot in this minute of like the golem on the tree. It doesn't seem like that kind of tree would be there. I don't know. It just seems wrong for this place and
this vegetation.
I don't know, it just seems so artificially spooky. Like it's like it's like yes, it was lightning and storming when they opened the Well of Souls, but that was just cool. Lightning and stormy. Yeah, it wasn't like gloomy and spooky.
Yeah.
This does look like they're in, like Salem, Massachusetts or something.
Yeah.
It's like they're suddenly on the set of a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It's like they're in the movie Sleepy Hollow suddenly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And also for being in the desert, there's a lot of vegetation and a lot of dead leaves blowing around. Like vines and
those are
dried out corn cobs.
Yeah, it does. It looks like this is like a harvest festival haunted corn maze.
In fact, I'm going here on Saturday with my kids, just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, head over to Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that's 2 towns away.
It is.
Yeah, from where I live.
Yeah, on the way to the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Oh yes. So I've had the music in this scene is a little weird to me. It's kind of like an oboe, like doop doop doop. It's not. I don't know.
I have to admit, I'm doing a terrible job of noticing the music in this movie.
Well, I think that's throughout this movie. I feel like there's something wrong with the music in this movie in general.
Maybe the music's doing a terrible job of noticing you.
Oh, maybe that's it, Gerry.
Yeah.
Thanks for nothing.
Maybe the music got tired of you making fun of it, Tom.
And just left with an oboe.
Sad oboe. Tom.
This does sound a little like Peter and the Wolf through here.
Yeah.
Like with the sad oboe.
Yeah. I don't know. You think about like music in the chase scenes in this, and it just doesn't feel like loud and urgent enough in like earlier and later scenes. I think about like, the marketplace music and how loud it got during Raiders. And I just feel like it creates such urgency. And I don't know. I never feel that throughout the course of this movie. Well, then again, nothing feels urgent in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's a problem.
I'm surprised you didn't say that there's a deleted scene here, Pete, because it's...
We need one.
Yeah,
it might be.
There's a deleted movie right here.
Lost my will to start to look for them.
It's a deleted movie. Yeah, it's a strange. Like, how did they find this place?
Yeah, no, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes no sense.
I mean, it's one thing, like, you don't need to have everything spoon-fed to you, but you do also need to believe what happens. Like, I don't believe that he looked at a picture on the floor and then found this place and they got there by motorcycle.
That doesn't make any sense.
And they got there, but and they show you, like, Indy's whole thing is this aerial view, and, you're like, yeah, but you're traveling by motorcycle.
Yeah.
I also don't think that Indy would ride bitch that far.
No, I don't think he would.
No. Get in the back, Junior.
Totally.
Well, do you have anything else to complain about? I mean, talk about in minute 45?
No. I mean, I want to like this minute. I wish I didn't hate this minute. I like the scary vibe because like we said, that was the vibe they were originally going to do for Indy 2 and Indy 3, and I would like to see what that would have looked like. But
I think I actually do. I think any complaining I'm doing about the vibe here is actually just because I know what's coming up.
Yeah.
And it's so uninteresting. And but I do like I like seeing Indiana Jones in this kind of setting. I wish it wasn't completely wrong for where he actually is. You know, if it were like, you know, like Sleepy Hollow or something, that'd be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind seeing Indy in this kind of setting. I just wish that they did something with it.
Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, it's in minutes coming up too, but the appearance of these creepy little dudes just never made any sense.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you know what's coming, and it's like, well, why look at the cool stuff if there's nothing, nothing's going to happen?
It's because they ran out of bugs and rats and stuff to make go all over Indy.
Maybe Mutt's deepest fear is creepy guys under bridges. I hate creepy guys under bridges, Jock. I hate them.
Billy goats. Why did it have to be Billy goats?
Well, speaking of Billy goats and the middle one, the middle Billy goat. This just in from Professor Christy Porter. Does Indiana Jones teach his grad students how to rob graves?
In Raiders, it sounded like he was speaking down on the topic that grave robbing was a bad thing.
That's right.
I feel like in this he's talking down on it because he tells him he initially tells him to hit the books before he tells the kid to get out of the library.
Yeah, I think he talks down. I think he doesn't teach them because he doesn't want competition.
He doesn't need a whole new crowd.
Well, I have an excellent question. He teaches at Marshall College. He doesn't teach at Marshall University.
No, because Marshall University is in California. Marshall College is in New Haven.
Well, but by that I mean you don't have graduate students, right?
Oh,
if you have a college, it's not. Only universities have graduate programs, correct?
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
Oh.
Is that not
as someone who got a master's at a college, I don't think that's true.
Oh, okay. Well, what's the difference between a college and a university?
I think a university has a lot of buildings.
And a university made up of colleges. I thought a university was made up of colleges.
I think
College of Arts and Sciences and College of
Colleges are generally smaller.
Yeah.
But they can still have grad programs.
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
I hear the wheels turning.
I'm looking at a smaller institution. So college vs. university. A smaller institution usually offers undergraduate degrees is considered a college.
Right.
Doesn't say they don't offer graduate degrees.
Right.
Put the internet down.
No, it says, all right. It says an institution that offers both undergraduate and graduate degrees is considered a university.
Maybe I didn't get a master's. Holy shit.
All right, well, I just looked up. Ithaca College has graduate programs.
There you go.
You just look up a college with graduate programs. Ithaca, Ithaca College offers 17 master's and doctoral degrees.
Here it is. While college and university have come to mean the same thing
Shut up,
colloquially,
yes, you're making too much sense.
Refer to two
Jerry
very
needs to make a point.
No, it is. I'm right. I'm reading it. All right. I'm on the back of the Captain Crunch cereal box. It's explaining it.
I did the word find, and it says colleges don't do degrees. All right, well, listen. For heaven's sake, Indy's in danger, Mutt's in danger. They don't know it yet, but we do. We've known it for a long time. But Steve, luckily you get to escape and go live your life. And thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been great.
And thank you for letting me escape just before the next couple minutes, which were, to me, they are literally the minutes that I've always remembered from this movie. And always stuck in my head is like, what the hell is this wrong with this movie? So the fact that I don't get to puzzle through them, I am very thankful for.
That is our gift to you. Our gift to you is inviting you just before those minutes, specifically, so you can feel like you're escaping them.
Thank you. And thank you guys for all 4 seasons.
Yeah,
Aw.
thank you.
Aw, yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
helping
here.
to make them awesome.
I don't do anything. In fact, just like I never have anything to promote, I don't really do that much.
You do stuff on the inside.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
I work on myself.
But you know what, everybody? Join us. Before you join us back here on Monday, you could also be joining us on the weekend. We've got our weekend bonus show over at patreon.com/Indiana Jones Minute. You can help support the show over there. And if you do, you can get early access to this show. You can get access to the bonus show where we discuss movies and indie comics and stuff and 7-Elevens and whatever else happens. And by golly, you could even get postcards from me and Gerry. And I should say, we mentioned the postcards. We're not talking like, oh, here's an Indiana Jones Minute postcard. We go out, we buy postcards, and we write them longhand to each person. we write actual postcards, like communication between 2 human beings or 3 human beings. I don't know, and whoever else is out there.
And the postman who reads it on the way.
Yeah, he gets a kick out of it. Everybody wins, including you. So join us over there. Join us on Facebook over at our group, the Indiana Jones Minute and the Listeners Crusade, where you can tell us all the stuff we missed, defend stuff that we're railing against, etc. And join us back here on Monday for minute 46 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Avocados?
Goats!
Nobody commented that
Trolls?
the guy's name is Harry Oxley. Really bad name.
More of a phrase.
Yeah.